Ladies and gentlemen, as 2024 quickly comes to a close here in Rise of Kingdoms, I wanted to do a couple of things before the year ends. First of all, I want to take a look back at some new features and changes that we got in Rise of Kingdoms throughout the year that have been really great for the game. Then I want to take a look ahead at a couple of things that we know are coming in the future for Rise of Kingdoms and are very likely to be coming in 2025. And then finally, I want to end this video with a little bit of a wish list for 2025, things that I want to see in Rise of Kingdoms coming down the pipeline, because truthfully 2024 has been a great year for the game, but that doesn't mean we have to stop here. We can always be looking forward towards new things and more improvements for the game in the future. But before we jump into any of that, of course, what's going on, guys? Cheers. I do want to wish you guys a belated Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and depending on when you're watching this, Happy New Year. I really appreciate you guys hanging out with me here on the channel throughout 2024, and if you've been here since even before then, you're the GOAT, seriously. Now, as you guys know, I am a partnered creator with Rise of Kingdoms, which means they support a few videos every single month, just like this one, but the most important support comes from you guys, so consider dropping a thumbs up on the video. It really helps out the algorithm, and subscribe if you want more Rise of Kingdoms videos going into next year. Okay, let's kick this off with a few things that we got in 2024 that I feel like are some really nice improvements to the game, whether it's for game balance reasons or just quality of life things. And the first thing is we got KVK resource refunds. Okay, now last time that I saw a screenshot of this, and it wasn't part of my most recent KVK, but for all future KVKs, it looks like you're going to be getting, at least in Season of Conquest, a 10% refund on resources spent for your hospital bills, which is very important. Getting dead troops back after KVK is over has always been an amazing change for the game, but getting some resources back for your healing is also really great as well. This will reduce the need to log into your farm account just a little bit after every KVK. Now, of course, it's still important to have, because 10% isn't, I mean, it's not like you're never gonna have to farm again, right? But it's definitely better than nothing, and I'm really glad to see this. The next thing we got was a resource and speed up calculator, which is really cool. I'm kind of leaking right now all of the different resources and stuff on the account, but that's okay. We've got a while till our next KVK, and this is going to definitely change between now and then. But again, this is a really nice quality of life update that we've really wanted in the game for a really long time, so I'm glad that we finally got it here in 2024. We also got filter mode and quick commands, which makes fighting in the open field a lot easier. You can now remove some things that you don't want to see, especially in dot mode, and you now have the ability, at least on mobile, to use quick commands and fight in a similar way that you've always been able to fight on a PC by right clicking. Now we also have the ability to not hit aligned troops or buildings or resource points or barbarians as well with quick commands, which is beautiful. Again, really nice quality of life thing, and I do think that you're going to see just better overall fighting in the open field on mobile as a result of this, and especially on iPad and tablets with the bigger screen, it's even more precise. They also gave us free passport pages every single week. We can stock up to 5 of these. Okay, so make sure you're buying these even if you have no intention on migrating. Like myself, I have no plans on migrating out of my kingdom, but like, what else am I gonna spend these on, right? I'm not gonna let them stockpile and just waste them, right? Like maybe one day in 3 years I'll be migrating somewhere at some point. You never know, right? You never know what can happen, and so it's always better to have some passport pages on your account rather than not. Again, especially because I don't really have much else to buy here, and I have so many credits, I might as well get them. They also removed all the debuffs from city skins. You guys remember that in 2024 they got rid of all of the debuffs here, so now all of your city skins are just net positive forever. It doesn't matter. It's purely a good thing to have a city skin, which we love. And they also made it so that way you can transmute, or transmog I should say, a integration skin into any type of city skin, which is really cool. I like that a lot. I'm saving up to make my Twilight Falls turn into my Atlantis skin, that way I get the best of both worlds. Really nice stuff there. Happy to see that change. We also in 2024 for the first time saw a legendary commander get a prime release. We got Ragnar in the gold keys a few years ago, I think in 2020 or 2021, and now we have Ragnar Prime, literally the first ever legendary prime commander, which opens the doors to future prime legendaries, which is exciting, and I'll talk about that later in this video in the wish list section. Beyond that, we also saw, and I can't show it here, but we got a KVK with remastered graphics, right? The remastered graphics finally landed for a specific KVK. We got Heroic Anthem with the KVK remastered graphics. That was amazing. I got to play that this year, which was beautiful. I love those remastered graphics, and we will talk more about them in this video, but the fact that we finally got our hands on it and we finally got to experience it was really nice. It was kind of like a, yes, this is really happening, it's really coming, here's a little taste of it, and I was super stoked to be a part of that. Later in the year we also got Realm of the Mystique. This is a brand new game mode, kind of a roguelike, which I did actually play. I didn't make a video about it or anything like that, but this was a really cool event, and I think that there's a lot that they can do with this event moving forward. Really excited to see the future of this game mode for sure. This was probably one of the bigger game modes they've added this year, and I'm happy to see it. I want them to keep doing more things like this. Speaking of new game modes, I can't show it here, but Golden Kingdom did get a rework in 2024 where the final boss was converted into just a massive tanky sort of DPS check. It's 16 floors now, so that optimization was really cool. Some people love it, some people hate it. I think that there's still some tweaks they can do to make Golden Kingdom better, but I think it's moving in the right direction as far as it being interesting in general. Another thing we saw this year, more so something that we got confirmed is not changing, is tier 6 units. We got confirmation from the devs that they are not considering adding tier 6 units or a sort of gunpowder firearm type of units. There was a lot of speculation around that a few months ago, and we did have the devs come out and say that at this time they're not considering adding that. So that's something else that we got in 2024, which was really nice. I mean, I know that's kind of like something we didn't get, but that was a positive. It was a great thing that we didn't get that, so I'm happy to see that, and I wanted to mention it here because again, that was a big deal for a little bit. We also got remastered commander models and backgrounds, right? As of the time of recording this, we got 8 commanders with remastered sort of graphics here, which some people love, some people hate, some people can't even tell, like with Cao Cao for example. I think that these have all really grown on me as I've had them in the game. Of course, I am not using the Ethelfled one. I thought that one just looked silly, but the rest of them I thought were really cool. I like Alexander the Great a lot. Okay, I know a lot of people, again, a lot of people didn't love this one at launch. Again, I think he looks great. He looks menacing, chest puffed out, looking pretty Giga Chad to me. Okay, YSG obviously the best looking one out of all of them, to be honest with you. This stance is formidable and imposing and scary, so I like it a lot. We also got new formations this year. I'm pretty sure the staggered formation came out this year and the Delta formation as well, so 2 new formations. I don't remember if we got Circle and Testudo this year or if it was at the end of last year. I can't remember exactly, but we definitely got the Delta formation this year, so really cool stuff there. And even if we didn't get Circle formation this year, we got our first commanders that really utilized the Circle formation in the form of Choi Young and Shajar. I have no idea where she might be here, but geez, there she is. We've got some mighty healing on these commanders, so new mechanics coming in 2024 as well. Not necessarily new interesting mechanics that we didn't really see that much before. We got our first open field leadership supportive commander in years in the form of Philip II, which is really nice. And we got our hands on a couple of new epic commanders. Our first ever ranged epic commanders came in 2024, so lots of things, and I'm not, this is not an exhaustive list, but we've got a lot of great things that came in 2024. There was also like Imperium changes, like how Imperium is calculated and things like that. So lots of things changed in 2024 in Rise of Kingdoms, most of which were really good stuff. Now, besides the changes that we did already get, there are changes that we know are coming, the first of which being we know a new civilization is coming. They've announced the Mayan civilization. We know for sure that it is the Mayan civilization at the time of recording this. We don't know the 2 commanders that are coming with it, but we've seen the silhouettes of them. However, they did say that Mayan Civ is coming. We know it's coming. We've known actually that it's been coming since last year in 2023. They announced it at the 5-year anniversary. We just didn't get it this year, which is really interesting, but we know it's on its way. And I would suggest, or I would say that the most probable launch window for the next Civ is probably Q1 of 2025. That is my prediction. I think they've hinted at it being an early 2025 release. Now, of course, that could be changed, right? They could change that whenever they want. They can decide that they'd rather push it back to the summer or whatever the reason that they push it back might be. But as of the time of recording this video, the speculation is that it will probably be in Q1 of 2025. So that's something to really look forward to. Another thing that we know for sure that we are getting, we just don't have an exact timeline. We know we're getting the commander swap event. Okay, so we've seen some official screenshots come out, but we don't know the exact timeline or what the restrictions might be for this event. But we've seen, for example, the official screenshot of them swapping Genghis Khan for Huo. So we know the commander swap event is coming. I've made previous videos about this, and when we know more about this event, of course I'm going to make a video about it. So if you don't want to miss that, subscribe with the bell turned on. we should be knowing more about the commander swap event again within Q1 of 2025. That is my best estimate or expectation. Okay, again, that can change at any time, so don't take that as like rule and set in stone. The devs could still be ironing that out. The other thing that we know that we're getting, and we don't know when we're getting this, and that is remastered graphics just in general, right? I think they've started to implement remastered graphics into Ark of Osiris, which is really cool, but we do not have a estimated timeline for Home Kingdom remastered graphics, which is very unfortunate. I really would like to see this happen sooner rather than later. I would have loved to see the remastered graphics happen before the end of this year, but unfortunately that has not been the case, and it's probable that they're still ironing out exactly how they want the graphics to look, and also they're probably trying to figure out how to make them function as best as possible in terms of frame rate, in terms of lag, server things, all that sort of stuff. So we know the remastered graphics are coming, we just don't know exactly when. Again, hopefully we see a Q1, maybe Q2 release for the remastered Home Kingdom graphics. Again, I don't know what they could possibly be ironing out at this point. I feel like they want it to be one of those things where there's zero backlash for it, but unfortunately, no matter what they do, there will be some community backlash because people don't like change, right? Regardless of whether the fact that it's good for the game, regardless of the fact that it's just better looking, it's higher quality, right? Like it's literally a better change for the game. There's always going to be a small portion of the community that's going to dislike change. Okay, so I hope they just release it. People are going to get over it. It's not going to be a big deal. Okay, people are going to act like it's a big deal, and then 2 days later you're going to forget it even happened, and you're just going to enjoy better graphics. At the end of the day, it's going to be a subconscious thing. I'm really excited for it. Hopefully we get that soon. And finally, the last thing that we know for sure is coming is a armament swap. We're going to be able to swap armaments from one formation to another, which is going to be really nice. Again, we don't have more information on this. We don't know exactly how this is going to work, if it's going to be a limited time thing, a one-time thing, if there's going to be a new currency for it, or if it's going to be some other cost or like an event or a gem thing. I have no idea what the exact specifics are because they haven't been revealed yet as far as I know, but we do know at some point, probably in 2025, we will get a armament swap event or function. Okay, so that's all the things that we did get and all the things that we will get coming soon. Let's talk about some things that I want us to get. So this is the official wish list portion of the video. Okay, so please pay attention. Nothing in this part of the video is based on any leaks. This is nothing that is confirmed or denied. This is all just things that Omniarch wants. Okay, these are things that I want to come into the game in 2025. First of all, and I'm gonna just circle back here for a second, Home Kingdom remaster. Okay, I'm gonna bring it up again. We know it's coming, but like we need it. Like what's going on? Okay, what's going on? Let's get into the game. I'm ready. I've been ready. I think a lot of people have been ready, and people that think they're not ready, they actually are ready. They just don't know it yet. Okay, so let's get this over with. Just rip the band-aid off. Just okay, I just want to see it. And you know, even better if they make a setting to where you can change back and forth, that'd be great. But then you'd have to consider moving forward into the game. They will have to then make new graphics for every new building, every new ornament, every new cosmetic, every new skin, they'd have to make 2 versions of all that stuff. I can't imagine that they would do that. So I don't know, maybe we'll get it, maybe we won't. But one thing is for certain, and that is that I want these Home Kingdom remastered graphics. The sooner we get it, the better for the game, just straight up, because again, this is, and I've said this before, but the Home Kingdom remastered graphics are not for the old players. It's nice for the old players, but that's not who it's for. It's for the new players. Okay, it's for people who are downloading Rise of Kingdoms for the first time today and jumping in and seeing graphics from 2017, 2018. Okay, and they look better now than they did back in the day, don't get me wrong, but like, come on, like they're going to be much more likely to keep playing the game if they see the remastered graphics compared to the existing graphics. So I want to see a Home Kingdom remastered graphics release early in 2025, and also I want to see a city remaster. Like, it was a little weird in the KVK when the whole map looked beautiful, and then I came into my city and it still had like the old grass, you know, it's a little bit blurry, and it had some of the older, like, you know, look how blurry this looks, right? Like it's a little bit older looking. Okay, so for me, I want to see the inside of the city get remastered as well. I know maybe I'm asking for a lot here, but in 2025 I would love to see that. Okay, I'd love to see, you know, like these animations, they're like 5 frames a second. All right, let's see some updated high quality stuff here. I will say the anti-aliasing looks really nice, by the way. If you guys didn't know, if you play on PC, this might even be for phones as well, but I have the anti-aliasing at the highest setting, and that kind of smooths out these edges really nice, which kind of tricks you into thinking that it's not all blurry and blocky, which is cool. But I still want remastered city graphics. Okay, the next thing that I want to talk about here is just features that they should just steal from other games. Okay, they should just literally steal these, and these are events. So first of all, there are other games in this genre, and I know you might be thinking of one particularly, but it's not the only one, I promise you. There are other games in this genre that have taken Vampire Survivors, okay, or Halls of Torment, or whatever game you want to talk about in that genre. They've literally stolen that and put it in their game. AOEM does this extremely well because it's so much fun. It is so much fun, and all the different commanders or heroes in that game have different special abilities in that game mode, and the game mode itself isn't like, it's not like a must play thing. It's not like you have to do it every day. It's not like this grinding thing, right? It's just like a fun sort of game mode that you can play that has gameplay that's completely different from anywhere else in the game. So Lilith devs, I'm begging you, just steal that idea. Just steal it. Just yoink, just take it and put it in the game, and I'm gonna be stoked about it, right? Some people are gonna be like, oh my god, it's just a Vampire Survivors clone. Yes, it's literally just a clone. Just clone it. It's a good game mode. It's easy. It's simple, like combat mechanics, right? It's not like super taxing. It's just I don't know. I feel like that'd be cool. Throw some rewards in there, or maybe give us like new ways to use old outdated commanders in that game mode. I think that would be really, really cool. Another thing that they should just steal from other games is a fishing mini game. Okay, as you can see here, we did just have the Fisherman's Fortune event, and for me, this event was teased during the 5-year anniversary of Rise of Kingdoms. They said fishing's coming to the game. I got excited, and then we got the Fisherman's Fortune event, which is a very hands-off fishing experience, right? You just do a couple of things to get some bait, and then when you collect a bait, you click the button and the game just fishes for you, and then you just get a random reward, right? And that's not an interactive fishing mini game, right? It's more so a fishing themed event, which is fine, but I would have liked to see actual fishing, right? Like I would like to see an actual fishing minigame. And again, this would be gameplay that is completely different than what we see in the game at all. Like literally, I want to see a sort of social fishing experience in Rise of Kingdoms. And again, the gameplay can be stupid simple, right? It could be as simple as, you know, you see the little fishing rod on the screen, and if it wiggles, you click the left mouse button or you tap on the screen, right? Like that's where the gameplay can start and end, right? That's it. But what I would like it to be is an event where it has maybe its own chat system, right? Like behind my head here, there's a chat box where it has like its own chat system, and players can go in there and they can kind of fish passively and chat with each other. And it would be more of a social experience with a little bit of in-game rewards rather than anything. Maybe you can hide some like mega rare things in there that people can share to like the kingdom chat or to their alliance chat and be like, oh my god, like I got a 50-foot long Gyarados or something like that, right? And it gives you maybe a legendary commander sculpture, something like that, right? Like just like a relaxing, like fun social type of gameplay thing. I think that would be really cool. I think that you know, the social aspect of Rise of Kingdoms is one of the things that makes the game so rewarding and keeps a lot of players engaged, and sort of feeding into that with these types of events that are a little bit more chill, right? I think that a lot of times when there's shared chats like Lost Kingdom chat, they get extremely toxic very fast, so much so that I don't even participate in those things, right? Like you never see me in Lost Kingdom chat. A lot of people don't even know that I'm in their KVK because I just don't chat in there. I don't interact with it. I don't stream my KVKs because a lot of times those sort of integrated chat experiences can get really toxic really fast. And so having a sort of, you know, social experience that is not PvP related, it is just purely for fun, for chilling, for connecting with other players, and just, you know, fostering some community. I think that would be really, really cool. And I find, for me personally, you can let me know in the comment section below if you agree with me or not, but I find that fishing as a mini game in other games is quite relaxing, is quite fun. I mean, you think about, and I know this is a completely different genre, you think of like World of Warcraft, for example, right? You can fish in that game. You don't have to. You could play the game for, you know, 900 days played, and you'll have never fished a day of your life, and that's fine, right? You don't ever have to fish, but you can, and it's cool, it's relaxing, it's chill, and I think that would be really cool. So I'd love to see that as another sort of bonus added mini game that is a bit more casual and a bit more focused on community. Another thing that I want to see for Rise of Kingdoms, and I've mentioned this has been on my wish list every year, and the devs probably hate me for this at this point. They probably hate me, but you know where I'm going with this, right? Do I even have to say it again? Every year I say this. Okay, we need to replace Ethelfled for a few reasons. Okay, first of all, we have this dotted line to the castle. I've pointed this out before. You know it, I know it, everyone knows it, the devs know it, everyone knows this. Okay, but I think once you get to Season of Conquest and you've already expertised Ethelfled, there should be a way to change the sculpture to something else. Okay, whether it's a new commander exclusive to the metal store, or it's a gold key commander, or it's a commander exclusive to a civilization, right? Like maybe your civilization, for example, like right now I am Germany, and so maybe my expedition legendary can be swapped to a German legendary, something like that, right? Regardless of what it is, there should be a way to put a legendary here that the players care about. And it's not because I want free-to-play players to get a new legendary. Of course I do, right? Of course I do, right? I mean, why wouldn't I want that? That's good for the free-to-play community. 95% of you guys are probably free to play to an extent, and that would be great, right? But that's not the only reason why I want to see this happen. The other reason that I want to see this happen is because this is a reason to get players to log in every day, right? In the same vein as something along the lines of the supply depot with the 30-day gem supply, or the VIP system where you come in here and you get some legendary sculptures every day. Those are two reasons to log in every day. Even if it's for 2 seconds, you just log in, claim it, log off. The campaign would be a free-to-play reason to log in, right? So free-to-play players, they don't have maybe a super high VIP level, and maybe they don't have the 30-day gem supply, so this would be their main reason to log in. They get another free legendary sculpture per day, whether it's El Cid, whether it's Julius Caesar. It could be a commander that's not like mega meta viable, but it's a legendary commander sculpture every single day for a legendary that they're working on, right? I think that there's just a lot of reasons to implement this. I think it would be great. I think Ragnar Prime was a great opportunity here because he's so beloved by so many people, and he's literally like relevant with Ethelfled in the artwork for the King of All Britons event, right? So I mean, like, I just feel like this is a missed opportunity, and maybe they're working on it, right? Maybe they are. I think we've seen some changes to the map here in the expedition over the course of 2024 with the remastered graphics coming. Like these icons are different, right? They've showed some attention to expedition this year, but I want to see in 2025, I want to see them finish it. Let's go to this castle. Let's get a new reward here. I feel like expedition has been literally 80% finished for the past 6 years, so let's finish it. Let's go out with a bang. Let's get a new system here, and I would love to see a new commander in this slot. As far as commanders go, why don't we talk about that for a second? There's a few commanders on my wish list, and I've mentioned these again in years past, especially last year. A couple commanders that are obviously missing from Rise of Kingdoms. Do I even have to say it? We need Sun Tzu Prime. It's time. Okay, I am not emotionally invested in him being an infantry commander. I know that a lot of players want him to be infantry related, and I would love that because I'm an infantry main. But if Sun Tzu Prime is going to be a leadership legendary or an archer legendary or a cavalry legendary, I don't really care at this point. I just want to see him just for in-game lore purposes. I feel like players want him so bad, and I want to see it as well. Also, I didn't want this until recently, but the more I thought about it, the more I want Lubu Prime. I feel like Lubu is another one of those historical figures that is so cool that it's unfortunate that he came into Rise of Kingdoms as a Dynasty Warriors 9 promotion. I think that promotion was pretty cool. It was unique. It was one of a kind. But now that that is long gone, it is over and done with, I would love to see them put Lubu Prime in the game with a completely different design that doesn't jeopardize their, you know, copyright or whatever agreement they have with Dynasty Warriors. That's obviously over at this point. I would love to see Lubu Prime come into the game. I feel like he deserves to be as good as like Sun Tzu Prime, for example, right? Like he's one of those top dogs. Beyond that, a couple of usual suspects that I always talk about in these videos. Vlad the Impaler, like no brainer to me. That's basically real life Dracula. Why would you not want that, right? I think that's awesome. Hattori Hanzo, Oda Nobunaga, and King Arthur. Those are all like top of my list of commanders that I think like are obviously missing from the game, right? Like there's so many historical figures here, and in some cases we have like repeats like with the prime commanders, and yet we don't have some of those commanders, which just feel like they should just be here, right? Like that's just how I feel. Moving on, another thing that I want to see in Rise of Kingdoms in 2025 is an auto barbing feature. Okay, now this is another feature that is in other games of this genre, but I feel like we need it, right? We need a system where I can automatically set my armies to just look for barbs of a certain level, and they just go around the map and hit them before coming back to the city, or when I run out of action points, whatever, right? That's what I want to see. I feel like, you know, I'm a little bit too lazy to grind barbs. Okay, I know some people, especially free-to-play players, like to chain barbs, and I think that's fine, but at the end of the day, like, there's so many, you know, Rise of Kingdoms, like, let's just be real here. Okay, Rise of Kingdoms is a pretty big time commitment, and one of the things that is a little bit mindless at this point is just attacking barbs, right? Like, it's too involved to just not pay attention at all, but it's also like so mindless that I can't bother to just sit there and only do that for hours and hours and hours, right? So that's kind of where I'm at. I feel like an auto barbing feature would make a lot of sense in this game. Other games do it, people like it, so let's see it. And finally, another thing that has been widely requested for years now is a fort search feature. Okay, let me just search for forts, man. Again, this is in other games. I don't see why it wouldn't be here. Let's just do it. Okay, again, rip the band-aid off. I guess, you know, I don't know, it's not like, again, to me personally, and I can only talk for me, it's not immersive to find forts, right? It's not a fun hunt to find a fort, right? It's just like an annoying thing I have to do. It's like, man, I want to rally a fort, but where are they, right? And especially during like Marauders, for example, like you're looking for like 2-3 minutes sometimes to find a fort. Okay, so like, I don't know, I feel like this should just be in the game. And then finally, I really want to see a, you know, you see how there's a claim all button? Okay, if I click that, it should also claim these. Like, come on, right? Like, what are we doing, right? Like, let's just do it. All right, that's another one where it's just like, let's just go, let's just do it. All right, so those are my sort of wish list things for 2025. And again, there's been so many great things in 2024 that have come to Rise of Kingdoms, and so many great things are coming for Rise of Kingdoms in the future. But again, you can always improve, right? You can always improve, and so hopefully some of the things that I'm hoping come to the game will show up in 2025. But I want to know what you guys think in the comment section below. Do you think that Rise of Kingdoms has been good in 2024 in terms of their updates? I feel like we've seen so many good things come in 2024, so let me know what you think in the comment section below. And what do you want to see in 2025 for Rise of Kingdoms, right? Are you hoping that we get 2 Civ releases? Are you hoping that we get different types of commanders? Like, I want to know what you guys think in the comment section below. And while you're down there, drop a thumbs up on the video. It really helps out the channel a ton. It helps get this video out into the YouTube algorithm so other Rise of Kingdoms players might see it. And consider subscribing to the channel and clicking the bell to be notified next time that I upload a Rise of Kingdoms video. And with that being said, guys, thank you so much for watching. This has been Omniarch. I will talk to you guys again soon. Peace.